that the appointment of cabinet secretaries by the president cannot be complete unless and until such approval or such appointment is approved by this House. That is the duty we are being called upon to perform this afternoon and probably tomorrow morning. Mr. Speaker, the standing orders, of course, takes cue from the Constitution and provides for the mechanisms of undertaking this approval exercise. And that is what the Committee on Appointments has just completed. That's the reason why we have got this report before us this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, let me say this for starters. That under the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the standards of ethics and morals that are expected of those who occupy public offices have been elevated so high, that this House cannot simply gloss over them. This House cannot afford to gloss over those standards as established by the Constitution. And let me take you, Mr. Speaker, to the now famed Chapter 6 of our Constitution, and especially Article 73 and Article 75. Mr. Speaker, Article 73, sub-article 1, among other things, says this: that authority assigned to a state officer is a public trust to be exercised in a manner that, among other things, demonstrates respect for the people and brings honor to the nation and dignity to the office. And if you go ahead, a step ahead, and look at Article 75, Mr. Speaker, it goes on to say that a state officer shall behave. A state officer shall behave, whether in public and in official life, in private life, or in association with other persons, in a manner that avoids, among other things, demeaning the office the officer holds. Why am I emphasizing this, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, it is on record that in the previous administrations, if I begin with the administration of the Honorable Mwai Kibaki, the late President of the Republic of Kenya, sometime in the year 2010, the President suspended 8 officials for 3 months after they were mentioned adversely in reports on the work of the subsidized maize scheme and Kenya's free primary education program. And I will go further to cite another case when in 2015, I think March, President Uhuru Kenyatta came before this very House, and I was privileged to be in this House at that time. He came before this House and read out a list, what was then referred to as the list of shame, of those individuals, public officers and state officers who were under active investigation by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. And subsequent to the reading of that list, these public and state officers were asked to step aside. It is important to point out that this was obviously in accordance with the requirements of the Constitution, and especially the stringent requirements of Chapter 6 of that Constitution. The Speaker, if you go to the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, you will find that once a public officer